Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is very exciting. Hello, Allie. How do I sound, girlfriend? Hopefully, everything is sounding good. Yep, thanks for joining me today. Certainly appreciate it. I'm going to get a few things lined up here real quick. Make sure that everything sounds good. Hi, DT. Thanks for coming. Great. Awesome. Very good. Thanks, guys. Oh, it's so exciting. I can't begin to tell you guys. This is some really exciting news we want to share with you guys today. You'll be so happy to be in the XRP community. Yes, yes, yes. Very exciting. We'll wait for a few of our friends to join us before we get started. If you would, please share to Twitter and over in the zoo. Our family needs to come join us. Let's huddle up and talk about crypto. Today is a exciting day. And I hope you're all having a nice day today. Hi, Rain. Hello. Thanks for coming by. Yes, it is a surprise. Oh my gosh. Oh, hi, Wolverine. Wow, how are you? What a treat. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Yeah, I hope you'll stay for our crypto club meeting. We're having some really exciting news breaking today. A good friend of mine tipped us off, and so I want to make sure that we're all ready to capitalize on what's going to happen. Exciting, exciting. I just can't even find another word other than exciting. Maybe life-changing. Yes. Very good. So I've got to get control of myself. Let's get it together here, and I'm going to find my notes and we'll get rolling here in a few minutes. Again, I want to let everybody join us, come into the stream, and make sure that we've all are here at the table, the tree house, the clubhouse, the zoo. Very exciting. Yep, Rain, it is a great day. Thank you very much, Tiller. I appreciate it. Please put the tweet out. Anybody, again, that would be willing to please share this around, I'm happy for you to do so. And again, it's in their benefit, so the more the merrier. Good, good, good. Yeah, Ohio, I hope you're doing well. You know, it's not too late for you either. You can always still buy some crypto with a credit card. But we're going to skyrocket here. So don't wait any longer. I want to welcome everybody who's joining us now. Again, I hope some people are at work. It's unfortunate, but on the East Coast, it's 4 o'clock. And I know that, again, everybody's working hard. Hopefully they'll join us. If not, they can catch this later. And our friends on the West Coast, they're just waking up. That's a joke. We do look forward to a few other friends of us joining. Looks like, I don't know where James is. Bones, they need to come join us for sure. That's okay, Rain. I'm happy you're here. You'll, you know, it's okay. Thanks, though. I know you always do share, so I'll let you slide. No, Rain, with regards to what we've got coming under the hood over at the zoo, the XRP Zoo, those are some items that, again, really aren't related to this breaking news today. Those are some other interviews and some exciting, I certainly can't let the cat out of the bag, but just some other exciting things that we're doing for the members. And, the guys are working hard to keep our zoo family, uh, um, again, I just can't really say anything else. Just know that we're all working very hard behind the scenes, believe it or not. So please do know that everybody's been working really hard. And so, again, this news that I'm going to break here shortly may change all this. We may all just be in Liechtenstein. Scrap the live shows. Thank you, Allie. Again, I really appreciate it. And thanks, Tiller. Thank you. Good, good. It's great. That's the word. It's great. I know there's a couple other live streams going on, but that's not going to stop me. We're all friends. That's exactly right, Rain. You never know when it's going to go down, and you're really smart to keep your notifications and your bell on tap for when it happens. We've all been waiting for these days. We're all waiting for these days. So I know that you're looking at the coin market cap right now. We're taking a look at what's been happening over today. If you didn't know, we already saw a big pump with Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit 9,000, and I'm quite sure, I would bet my life on it, that we'll return to that sometime later this afternoon, evening. Hello, Angie. Thank you for coming in tonight. I appreciate it. I really am glad to see you. And again, thank you very much. If you'll please share this chat with other friends, because this is some very exciting news that we're going to break here together. I'm very thankful for a good friend that tipped me off to this, and without that person's permission to reveal their help, I'm not going to do it at this moment. But, again, I certainly want to, because they're an outstanding part of this community. They just don't get the credit they deserve normally. But I have to say that a lot of us are already aware of what we're going to talk about. The point is that it's going down. So make sure that you've got your bid set, that you're happy with where your bags are. And while we're talking, I think it's probably a good time for me to remind you all to make sure that your Ledger Nano S's are not stored away in your safe at this time, that you should have already updated the firmware for your Nanos. That way you'll be confident when you do get them out of and dust them off, that you can take care of business in a readily, you can just get to it. You don't have to worry about updating the firmware. And it's very important that you also have Ledger Live software installed on your computer, that you're not relying on the old Chrome app, which was for Ripple, and a separate one was for Bitcoin, and there was a separate one for Litecoin. Make sure that you've got Ledger Live installed and are able to do so. Hey, Chris, what's happening? Okay, great. London's in the house. Love you so much. Glad you could come tonight. And oh, wow, Sask13, how are you? Oh my gosh. Some of my original favorites. Love you guys. It's really nice to see you guys from my gun community channels. Love to see you joining me tonight. Thanks very much for the surprise. I am here tonight talking about some of our digital currencies. And if you are interested, to stay tuned. There's some really serious breaking news that I'm going to lay out here in a moment. And it's very relevant to a lot of our prepping community, because we all know that we want to make sure to be ready for any situation that occurs. If it has to do with the financial system in the United States, well, that's pretty much a need to be prepped. If the dollar were to collapse, then you're fine to start a fire with your fire starter, your ferrocerium rod. But we're talking about right now in the banking sector, for the ability to be prepared for the coming change of our financial system. There's going to be a financial reset, and that is what we're talking about directly right now. There is an event that is going to occur in a few hours that's going to change the lives of many people. So, without that big hint, I'd like to again welcome a few more friends tonight. Crypto Girl, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. Love you. Some of my OGs. Oh, Palm Mom, how are you doing? Great to see you. Thank you much for joining. You'll all be very glad that you did. And we're going to talk about some of the breaking news that's coming down. I haven't seen it yet, but it is some very serious information that again will benefit all of us, especially in the XRP community. Ripple Labs has been working very hard to secure what is their place in financial history, and it is about to happen. So exciting, exciting, exciting. Grab your drinks, please, and prepare to sit down for a quick refresher on how we got here and where we're going. So I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to get your drinks. Please do. I'm going to wet my whistle. It is so hot on the East Coast. I can't even begin to tell you guys. It's a really hot summer day. But what better time to have cool, refreshing breaking news for the XRP community? I can't think of any. We've all been waiting for this for a long time. Yes, definitely. Palm Mom, hold tight, honey. Just make sure that if there's any last purchasing you guys need to do, now's the time to do it. Secondly, you need to make sure that your Ledger Nano S's are updated for your firmware and that you also have the Ledger Live software installed on your computer so that you can access your Ledger Nano S if you plan to do some cashing out. We're going to see some moves in this market, baby. Very exciting. Yep, very exciting. X marks the spot. How are you tonight? Great. Thank you very much for coming. Crypto Dude, hello, hello. Yeah, again, thank you guys very much to please share this on Twitter. And this is no joke. This is a big deal. Very serious. Not Siri. I'm not talking to Siri. I'm saying serious. You know, technology is great, but Siri sometimes goes over the top. Blah, blah, blah. She means well. Yeah. Again, I don't have to repeat this, but of course everyone can check out this video later if they like, if they're joining us late. But we're going to still give everybody a few more minutes. So if you don't mind, please share this again on Twitter. Give it one more good go round. And then we'll get started into the meat and potatoes of what's happening. It is very exciting. Breaking news right here. Crypto BirdDog, happy to welcome all of my good friends that have put their money where their mouth is, and you should be smiling soon. Very exciting, exciting times we live in. I know we all know that these have been some very, you know, you may have had to make sacrifices along the way. You may have had to eat ramen noodles. Well, we've done this, and it's going to pay off for you now directly. Not just the chance of a lifetime. I believe, and we've all mentioned this before, I'm not the first to say this. This is the chance of 2 lifetimes for you to take advantage of currency in the United States. Historically, we have had the country change from different currencies and monetary systems over the time since the inception of the United States. And here we are on the brink of yet another change of the monetary system. It's very exciting, very exciting. I know, right, Chris? I haven't eaten in 3 days. That's very funny. Yep, I do appreciate everybody here tonight. Is Palmer in the house? Oh, good. That's my girl. Okay, great. Danny Torres, thank you, Danny. Got lots of my dear friends. I'm so happy you're here with us so you can hear this live. And I know you're going to understand because you're all very educated ladies and gentlemen of the XRP force. We're all pioneers. Hello, Ferdy. How are you today? Thanks for joining. Hola. This is very interesting. Again, if you're new to my cryptocurrency, if you're still out there watching from some of my other channels, I appreciate it. We've got members that are joining from all over the world right now. We're having some great representation from some of the strongholds, the financial movers and shakers in the world, frankly. And I'm so very happy to call you friends. Thanks very much. Yep. Do we get popcorn? I will buy you some very soon. How about that, Pom Mom? It could be a plated gold box of popcorn. How about that? That's great. Oh, thanks, Crypto Girl. Pass it around. Yep, I thank you guys again. Share this. I know I've asked you before, but we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Thanks still again very much. Oh, nice. See, we've got Sweden, we've got Switzerland, we've got, of course, the United States, we've got um, the Netherlands, we've got London, just off the top of my head right now of joining us at this moment here. And I know that this is a great family that we put together. And you guys, thank you very much for joining us. It certainly is to your benefit. And I appreciate East Coast, West Coast, up, down, north, south, east, west. We're all in this together. The world is about to change. Very exciting stuff. I would just tell you, welcome everybody. Again, thank you for joining me today. It's Crypto BirdDog, and I'm pointing you in the right direction. So if we'll look, please, at some of the events that have taken place, I would like to say that, again, we know Bitcoin surpassed the $9,000 mark today, and I do believe that we're going to return to that here shortly. XRP is also on the move. Currently, the markets are red, but that is, again, minuscule. These are very minuscule percentages of moves. And I would like to say that we're taking a quick catch of our breath in the markets. We can see that these graphs over the 7 days are very, very elementary. They're very simplified, but it is their movements that are very important. And you can see we made small dips here, small breathing dips. Everyone is catching their breath. It's like Lamaze. Where's Bob Moneybags, speaking of? That's good stuff. Okay, great. I want to welcome Boo Boo. She's here. Thank you so much for coming. Great. Razor B, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, guys. We've got some really exciting breaking news, and I want to thank you again. Thanks so much for joining from South Africa, Boo Boo. I'm jealous. I'm so jelly. One day I'll be there. I'll be on horseback on safari, in fact. So looking forward to that day. We're talking today about some breaking news, and I want to again say that I'm very sorry that I cannot officially share with you my source on this. It's a terrific person in the community, but yet I cannot feel good about doing it without that person's permission. So just know that, again, solid as the day is long, and as soon as I can get in touch with this international person that will allow me to give credit where credit is due, I will definitely be doing so. And you'll be seeing us again here very soon also. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look for a moment and see if I can bring myself up on screen here. Let's do that. Hang tight 1 second, folks. Put that down. Now this may throw a wrench in things, but we're going to try. Yep, that's a wrench thrower. Okay, one other item. Gonna bring this back up. Yeah. All right, well, let's see here. Hmm. Okay, cool. So you can see me. I think we'll be getting rid of the little dots there in 1 second. Good deal. There we go. Okay. So it's nice to see you guys. And again, here. All right, let's get back to business. Thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate that. And I would like to please give us a quick background on something that is happening here that we are all aware of, and again, it's the financial monetary system that is what is changing. And again, by the way, global disruption is in progress. Yes, it is. The global disruption is in progress. Breaking news, breaking news. Remember, guys, that the United States went off the gold standard, and it was something that was done to bring about the balancing and creation of monies that the United States intended on using to let the United States gain control of the European central banks and allow for the loaning of Federal Reserve notes to the European Central Bank in exchange for, during the periods of 1930s, where they would actually trade their gold back to the United States for our federal gold dollars. And it was this period of time that gave the instability, if you will, to the world banking system. Until then, the world had been on a gold standard. And it's that phrase that we're discussing today, and how the gold standard is going to be coming back to the United States and to the world global economy. Now, in the 1913 year, the Federal Reserve Act was enacted. And what it did was to make certain rules that allowed for the creation of these different dollar notes. And it also meant that those notes by the Federal Reserve in 1913, which was created then, would be backed by 40% gold reserves. So it was these dollars that were lent to different Federal Reserve banks in the United States, and they could, like the Bank of New York, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, could then take those dollars and loan them to European central banks. And following the different world wars that were occurring in the Britain, in France, in Germany, the different occurrences that depleted those countries' reserves that were gold, and also when someone perhaps even lost a war, their reserves were raided. Different scenarios came to an head, and the head was a good opportunity for the United States to take advantage of this. And in 1934, the authority of the president at that time reenacted the Gold Reserve Act. And so please know that at that time, 1934, all gold was to be turned over to the United States Treasury. It was the United States Treasury who began the Fort Knox facility, and all the deposits were then collectively valued, correct, to give a actual valuation for what was going to be the Federal Reserve notes. And so it was on the 31st of January in 1934 that the President of the United States enacted, as he was authorized by this particular legislation, that he could change the value of the dollar. And he did so. He changed the value of the dollar from the gold-based troy ounce of $20.67 per Federal Reserve note. He changed it, which was increasing the number of value, but yet truly it was devaluing the actual. It was an inflationary move that devalued the actual value of the currency in the supply and demand of the gold reserves. And it was the change from $20.67 to $35 even per troy ounce of gold per U.S. Federal Reserve note. Now, this was an equivalent to a 40% devaluation across the board. That's significant. That's very significant. We're almost speaking of half, right? Of course, 40%. Now, since then, we've been printing our own money, as again allowed by that act. We were able to create our own monies, and the European central banks were also allowed to do the same thing. They followed suit, even though not everyone had abandoned the gold standard like the United States did not abandon, the gold standard completely like most of the other world countries had. And therefore, we had a quasi-dual monetary system here in the United States, and it was unstable, in fact. And the different economists have debated for many years over time whether this was a move that would further depression status in the United States, or if it was something that was going to be a benefit. So the economist debates raged ever since then, even into today's time, where we continue to print money in an inflationary environment. The Federal Reserve and the United States Treasury continue to be, quite frankly, lambasted, if not criticized, for those continued deflationary moves. And so the United States dollar is in a rather precarious position today, and our debt, as we all know, has risen to over $23 trillion. It is unsustainable. Now, the point that we're looking at today, and how does this affect us directly, other than perhaps us looking at a collapse of the US dollar? Well, as XRP holders, it is very exciting because of the work that Ripple Labs has been doing. And I know that we all follow this news very, very closely. And Ripple Labs has been hard at work. They have an excellent team of top-notch men and women from all sectors of the globe. They have procured an excellent team who bring more than experience to the table. They bring networking to the table. They bring tremendous thinking. They are out of the box thinkers, and they see how it is ability for us to, if not return to the gold standard, if not create a more stable currency, if not regain the stability for what could be balancing our budget, then it's all three of those. It doesn't have to be just one. So with that, I believe that Ripple Labs has almost achieved this particular goal and has made partnerships with global entities, whether it's the IMF, whether it is the World Bank leaders, in the European Central Bank. If it's not just them, it's the Bank of International Settlements. We know that just recently that the BIS has also come on board to support cryptocurrencies and digital assets. And we also know that the United States of America has created the first time in over 150 years a new asset class for investors. And this was done, of course, for regulatory necessities and also for taxation purposes. So it is this new creation of an asset class that is called digital assets that is absolutely live, it is real, and it is relevant to the coming news that I'm about to break. This is very exciting, guys, and I hope you're all having a good time. Oh, great, James is in the house. Thank you so much. I want to say hello, shout out to X Marks the Spot, James Malpass. Let's see, who else have we got out here tonight? Thank you again. Please do share this, guys, because it's just so exciting. And again, we're going to break some news here in just a minute. I want to thank you all very much for joining us, and know that this is life-changing. It is very life-changing. Congratulations again for being part of XRP community. So we've discussed what has been some great efforts by the Ripple Labs team. And there's one gentleman that is on the team that we've all spoken about also. His name is Miguel Valles. Miguel Valles is a very important part of today's conversation. It is the department that he works in Ripple. And I use the word department in a very elementary way because he is a really educated and experienced man who brings to the Ripple Labs team what is necessity for the Commodities and Exchange Commission. So if we take a quick look at what his actual history and his resume is that Miguel Valles, he originally was the head of the Commodities and Mercantile Exchange Commission. He was the head of the Global Precious Metals and Metals Options Desk. So not just the trading and regulation of the metals, but also the derivatives branch, the options branch. So with the experience that he had for nearly 20 years to head up the Global Precious Metals and Metals Options Desk for the CME Group, he also had previously sat with the banking commodities firms Morgan Stanley, the Bank of America, and MidSef. Those are they just speak for themselves. Do I need to explain them? No. So the groups along the way formed his opinions, his experiences, his networking that has led him now to be what is in a position at Ripple Labs as a very important link to what would restore the United States and the world currencies into a significantly solid state that could be backed by the gold standard. It would be a return to the gold standard that we have all heard about and been puzzled by the numbers 589. 589 has been considered to be perhaps a price point that XRP would achieve. We weren't sure of this. We didn't know if this was something to do with the United Nations. We didn't know if this was something to do with the COMEX rule 589, or again, if this was a price level that our precious digital currency would achieve. It appears to me, this breaking news, is that the COMEX rule 589 is exactly what the 589 refers to. And it is the inception of Ripple Labs, Miguel Valles, who is able to enact what is the liaison and the institution of trading out the pressure that the current banking system relies on, nostro accounts. Those are the liquidity funding currency accounts currently that are used by the European central banks, the world banks, to fund the liquidity pools that the banks draw on for cross-border payments. It is that money that is transferred from point A to point B through what has traditionally been the SWIFT monetary system. Now, we know the SWIFT monetary system has been in charge for about 45 years, and they have been very slow to adapt to changes that technology has brought to the table. So someone like Ripple Labs that has embraced the digital currencies and the advent of cryptocurrencies to assist with alleviating the pressure that the Nostro accounts currently are under, which mainly deals with time and banking laws that require for currencies to be transacted in a manner that usually takes 10 to 14, maybe even 20 days, depending again of what corridor the Nostro account, which is the inflow of the money into the liquidity pool, and therefore when it is then expelled from the liquidity pool out into a Vostro account, that is where the destination for that money is intended. So the digital currencies we know have assisted with the time frame of that challenging part of what has been the SWIFT monetary system. Because we know that digital assets can settle. That's the key word, settle, not just be transacted or loaned or fronted or borrowed. No, these monies are actually changed hands from point A of a Nostro account, which now is not any longer going to be a Nostro account. These are the liquidity pools that the XRP team has created and allowed, the Ripple Labs team has created with the transactions for their liquidity pools of XCurrent, XRapid, XVIA. Together, they all serve particular roles that allow to have the transaction of money in real time and the settlement of these funds in real time from one country to another country in a matter of seconds. And for what is nearly free transaction costs. We all know that it can be moved, money can be moved, monies, currencies. Again, I'm using the term monies in a sense of financial vocabulary. I'm not speaking of dollar bills. We're speaking of monies that can be transacted for what are millions and millions of valuations in monies for less than a penny. It's truly remarkable. So technology today has taken the front seat, and the Ripple Labs company has taken the lead to use what are the COMEX rule 589 to adjust for what is going to be the return to backing the financial currencies in the world to the gold standard. This breaking news deals with the return of the gold standard. I do not know what percentage of, but I do know that we will be backed by gold. XRP will be backed by gold. I'm stating it here now live for all of our friends to understand that tomorrow, the 31st of May, at the end of the banking day, I believe it's going to be at 16:30 hours, you can expect to see the COMEX rule in effect and digital currencies take a leap. It's very exciting. And I thank you all for joining us today. I want to ask a few questions of our friends in the chat to please, again, share this, if you will. Now, why do you say that, James, that it is not our friend? Because the liquidity pools will adjust for what is going to be the value of your XRP. I'm curious for you to ask me this. I know he needs a few moments, but I'm happy for him to please explain to me what he means by this. What is going to happen is that this will be the replacement of, again, what is our devalued currency. President Trump has signed into effect in February of 2017 the presidential executive order 13772, 13772, and it was the avenue that mandated his financial team, the U.S. Treasury team, the Secretary of the Treasury, to work with and to achieve the tasks that he set forth that were going to bring back stability to the United States financial system and allow for the taxpayers to never be burned with another bailout again. It is criminal. It is criminal. And if you'll read those tasks in this executive order, then you'll find that the orders are such that the goal is, again, to bring about stability to our financial system. Now, I appreciate what you've said here, James, that it is a special price fluctuation stabilizer. Now, I understand that you are speaking about the circuit breakers, but please do know that the circuit breakers are already in effect. The stock market, which is again one of the asset classes, they all use the manipulated circuit breakers. Everyone currently is being manipulated along with the commodities markets, silver, gold markets. They're all very much under a circuit breaker situation. But that's because, again, with the current financial monies that are implemented, they are using a inflationary method of money, which is still the United States dollar. And it is continued to be printed daily over and over and over and over and over, more and more and more, which continues to drive our inflation higher. You can't buy your groceries at the store without choking on your bill. You know, again, we understand what the normal situation and why inflation affects us. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And for the circuit breaker that you're speaking of to be instituted, it's going to not be in the manner that you're considering. This is going to not be a circuit breaker. This is going to be a revaluation. That's the whole point that we need to wrap our hands around right now. That XRP, for a gold standard backing, will be revalued tomorrow. And therefore, you're going to see your price increase of your XRP. I hope that's understandable. I know it is. And let's see what we can say to that. Let's see here, guys. Let's see here. Yes, James, and for all of my other good friends out there, I love you all very much. That yes, the rule is set to go into effect tomorrow, the 31st of May, at 16:30 hours. So your new life begins tomorrow. Make sure that you have got all of your purchases made at this time for your XRP. You should conclude your buying at this time. You should also be ready to have your Ledger Nano in case you decided to take some small profits in the next few days. Make sure that you have got your firmware updated on the Ledger Nano and that you're currently using the software, which is Ledger Live. It is software made for your desktop. Go to the Ledger website, download Ledger Live. Don't be using the old Chrome app, please. If you need help with that stuff, let me know. But That is correct, James. Now you're on board, Shug. I love you. And so it is fantastic news, Boo Boo. And Crypto Girl, if you don't understand, I'm happy to again repeat this. Again, it's no problem because I'm very thrilled to be speaking about these wonderful events. That the Commodities and Mercantile Exchange has a bulletin that is put out that is alerting tomorrow, May 31st at 16:30 hours as the time that this event, the revaluation of XRP to gold, will take place. So does that mean that other cryptocurrencies are being shunned? I cannot speak to that. I only know that utility is what it is, and that's why we are invested in XRP. If Bitcoin is a store of value, so be it. I'm quite sure that it will rise on this similar news also. But as far as the other coins, I can't speak to them. They have their own use cases. XRP specifically was designed to be a transfer of value that is permissionless, that is going to be replacing the world's currencies for cross-border payments. And that's what is happening. Now, Chris, I appreciate your question. What time zone? 16:30. I believe that 16:30 is the United States time. I do, because that would be at 4:30 p.m. And it's my opinion that the United States does run the banking world and that it would be the close of the bank day tomorrow. That's why I would say 4:30 p.m. United States Eastern Standard Time, which would be 16:30 military time. That's my understanding. You know, Palm, I'm not sure, Shug. I don't know what the increase percentage would be. I cannot tell you that. I don't know that. I do understand, though, that the bulletin has been put out, and I've seen it. It does not state any valuations of the expected increase. And I'd also have to remind us that it is still a free market economy. And it's very possible that whatever the valuation is made, that the markets then could take it to another level. The FOMO could be fierce. Let's hope. Let's hope. The horses are waiting, Allie. The horses are waiting. Well, I really am very happy that you guys are joining me again. And let's go ahead and let's talk over this all again. You know, again, I have to say that disruption, global disruption is in effect. XRP. Woo woo. Yes. Very exciting. So it has been the effort by Ripple Labs and their hiring of different departments that have had the goals to alleviate the backlog, the terrible transacting time for currencies to do business in and around the world. We are a global economy, of course, and to replace what has been existing banking entities that we call nostro and vostro accounts. Those are derived from Latin. Nostro is us, vostro is you, and those terms reflect to the inflow and the outflow of the monies that are put into liquidity pools and mostly handled by the central banking system. The World Bank oversees the central banking system, and there are certain entities that also have their own place in governing those money funds. We know that Christine Lagarde has been very instrumental. She is with the, it has been a head of the IMF for many years. She has been terrific liaison to explain and make the necessary education for what is this coming transition that would allow for many of the governments, not just the United States of America, but many world governments to get their footing again and get back to some solid banking that can perhaps erase terrifically awful debts that our current banking system is under. And maybe we'll avoid the collapse of the financial system, in fact. Wouldn't that be terrific? Who wants to go through a depression? Who wants to see the ruin of your country? Who wants to eat out of the garbage? We've witnessed some very sad situations across the world, and we're smarter than that. And that's why I think that the announcement of tomorrow's scheduled revaluation for the currencies and the digital currency against a gold backing, which again relates to the commodities and mercantile exchange. There is the COMEX rule 589 that will allow for a legal transition and offering of these monies to start being used in a manner that allows banking to take on a new regulatory stance, to take on new avenues that will alleviate the backlog and the unfortunate clogging of our financial system. That is very exciting for everyone in our XRP community, in digital currency space in general, to witness. So make sure if you can call in sick tomorrow to work, tomorrow may be the day to be sick. I don't know, but otherwise you need to just make sure to get home early. How about that? Let's see, what else have we got going on out here? Keep calm. Yes, keep calm. Everybody keep calm and hold your bags. Never give in to fear. Digital asset conductor, thank you very much. That's very true. Let's see. Yesterday, 250 million XRP was transferred from a Ripple over-the-counter to an unknown wallet, and they activated 3 more wallets with 25 XRP each. I think you're saying probably 250 mil. Yep. So I believe more will be seen in the coming day. I do agree with that. There is a lot of that's going on, and I'm not sure if, again, because I have not had the ability, the time to look at the whale panda or any of our other whale movements to see what is being transacted. But, I just know, guys, that, again, this is all in effect. These things are not just occurring for no reason. These are planned and certainly coming to fruition. David S. said at one point he thought $125. Well, nothing is out of realm. Anything's possible. We all understand that. I don't want to say 125, but we've done the math before. We have done our own speculation, and it's not wild speculation. Sam has done a lot of great actual math. So has Susie with Esoteric Trading. Sam I Am, Green Eggs and Ham. Our dear Sam is a very brilliant person. So is Susie, and I appreciate everything that they have done to come up with solid accounting. It's not a crapshoot. Now, that's not my bag, but I do see that their method for arriving at, when they have explained what these monetary speculative prices are, I understand how they got there. Yes, it is great news, Auburn Rain. I appreciate it. I'm so happy you're here with me. And Connie, it's just great to have you here too. Thank you so much. I just love you guys and want to say congratulations. You made some great choices. Now, I will be honest to say, Crypto Girl, Crypto Girl, you said you're feeling sick. Oh no, don't feel sick. That's very funny. It's not funny. I'm sorry. Don't feel sick. Now, again, we're going to reiterate that tomorrow around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what I'm expecting, again, based on what is the memo. So, Danny, you're confused. Let me see what we've got here. Does gold equal a certain percentage value of XRP that has to be held by a securing entity? And if so, who will hold the gold that backs it? Now, what I do know is that, of course, all the world banks do have their own gold reserves. You may have been noticing and hearing news recently that China has been increasing their gold reserves over the last 4 and 5 years. That's come out to be more mainstream news. Maybe we didn't know that when it was occurring, but we can't forget that gold is not a finite supply either. You can still mine gold, right? You can still dig it and refine it and store it. So it is very possible for what is a rare earth metal to still be inflationary in some sense, but it's not something that is inflationary like the Federal Reserve, U.S. Treasury's ability to print paper and slap ink on it and assign it a serial number. Totally different situation. The smelting of gold and assigning it value, along with identification of the bars and transporting it, takes time. So that is not something that is going to be as inflationary by no means. So we do remember that yes, gold can still be mined. Now, the current reserves that we understand that are in the world, let's see. I'm going to look at this real quick here. The United States supposedly holds the most gold holdings, and these are in metric tons. The United States is supposed to have, again, if this is public, we could be sandbagging, I don't know. But what I do know is that is stated public knowledge that gold holdings in metric tons, we have 8,000, let's just leave it at that, 8,000 metric tons. It's a little more, but let's have an easy conversation. 8,000 metric tons. It is said that the next largest holder of gold in the world is Germany with 3,000 metric tons. So you can see that there is a difference. That if we do return to the gold standard, again, the United States will retain its place in the world leadership for the monetary control of the world. I'm just saying. Now, conversely, Switzerland reports that they have about 1,000 metric tons of gold. The IMF is an entity of its own. It is the equivalent of a country. It's very important to remember this. And the IMF holds nearly 2,800 metric tons of gold. So they're a playa. They're a playa. Yes. So it goes United States, then Germany, and then the IMF, the top three holders of gold reserves in the world. Now, China is down at number 6 with just a little more than Switzerland's holdings. They're over 1,800 metric tons of gold reserves. And we understand again that China has been very busy to increase the reserves. Does that mean they've been mining? Does that mean they have been buying, trading with other countries? Very, very likely, very likely. They may have been selling natural gas. They may have been selling oil to one of the Koreans, the North Koreans. They may have been supplying Russia or Iran. All of these geopolitical situations that are occurring are real. And it's very possible that they were purchasing gold in exchange for some other valuable commodity like oil or plutonium. It's hard to say. Now, to put that in context, again, for the gold reserves and how much that could be a percentage, Danny, to answer your question, I cannot tell you that. I don't know. That's a very complicated formulation that has most likely been agreed on by not only the IMF, but the World Bank and the central bank system. So we will have to be citizens, and one day hopefully we'll learn about information that has been decided for these purposes. You know, it'll be a historic event that we look back on and see what has been done and how they arrived at those types of valuations. And I don't know that at this time. It's not something that I am privy to. I do know again that what has been released is that this event will happen tomorrow, the 31st of May, at the end of the banking day in the United States. That we will return to what is a digital currency for a backing of gold. It's very exciting. So for the puzzles over these last 2 years that our friend Bearable Guy may have been dropping on us, we still don't know his identity, but it's very inquisitive to think that 589 again was related to the COMEX rule 589. Great. So exciting. Let's look some more of our... I'm sorry, guys, if you have a question, please repeat it because I'm way back in the... I'm going to go ahead and scroll to the new comments. Yes, it is insane news, Crypto Dude. Our dreams are starting to come true. Yes, Crypto Girl. Oh, you changed your avatar. You've thrown me off totally. Love you. Yes, Danny, it is going to be a long 24 hours. Should I live stream all 24? Just a joke. But I probably will come back on. Yeah, I do agree, Crypto Dude. Bearable Guy 123 did highlight the month of May, not a date. You're exactly right. It was on the calendar. Where can we find this memo, James? Where did I hear this? Well, it's one of a good friend of mine that has tipped me off to this. And I unfortunately have not been able to get his permission to share this for his identity. Now, I'll give him total credit as soon as he allows me to do so. And I really do hope... I should probably check my Twitter again. Let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. Oh, goody, yes. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to divulge that. So I appreciate that. That's no problem. Lips are sealed. That's awesome. But I certainly appreciate the love and the opportunity that you've given me to share this information. And hello, 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 special person. Thank you so much. Yep, we're certainly appreciative of that. I'll just always be indebted to you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So let's look back here. Yes, I have read the memo, James. I have. I'm gonna buy the parrot. That's very funny. Let's see what else have we got real quick here. Yeah, it's not like someone is just I don't mean to infer that this has been a leak. No, this is public information and is available to be sourced. Don't get me wrong on that, okay? I want to be clear that this is not someone who is leaking information out of Ripple Labs. No, that's not the situation. I'm not being leaked by the COMEX. I'm not being leaked by U.S. Treasury. I just want you to know that the info is out there and it is publicly available. You just have to search. And so I want to be clear that no one's going to be in trouble for this. It is public information. However, like we all are very busy with our lives, you may have overlooked this, and it's life-changing. We can't let you guys not be ready, not witness this. I agree that gold is an ancient store of value and it always will be. That is correct. It truly is a resource that is the right one. It's the only one that has the right variables to allow for, compared to, like, say, silver. Silver's characteristics do not allow it to be as valuable. And I'm not talking about shiny yellow. I mean actually the commodity itself, its periodic table elements, the making of it, the quantities available of it. Now, sure, maybe one day we'll go to the moon. Maybe we'll start mining for gold on the moon, but we're not doing that yet. We've got a long way to go before that happens. We've just got to try to save our own economies, get ourselves back on a level playing field. Have you heard that before? Right? Let's see here. Oh, I appreciate the tip. Thank you very much, Dana. Thank you for the tip, bot. Thank you, Shug. Digital asset conductor, yes, we're saying that the price of XRP will move tomorrow substantially because it will be revalued. It's going to have a valuation change, which is what the COMEX Rule 589 allows for. It allows for the president and his team to make adjustments in the valuation of monies that can be backed by gold. Therefore, just like happened back in 1931, when the current president at that time made the change for what the Federal Reserve notes were valued based on the gold standard at that time, they changed a valuation of 40% devaluation. They rose the troy ounce gold price from $23 to $35. And so it was that change in the valuation of gold that allowed for the Federal Reserve notes during that period of our history to become revalued. And tomorrow we'll see a revaluation of our currency also, which is going to be the digital currency XRP. Now, I appreciate, James, your point saying that you've heard about a memo going around that SBI was to raise the price of XRP over $500 in 800 days. Now, that could be a collective goal also, certainly. But in order for that to occur, again, we must recall that the backing of the entities, of the monies, the valuation has to start on a certain day. So the change has to start. And so, we don't want to all take and convert your monies tomorrow. Don't cash out tomorrow evening. Know that this will be, as I believe you're correct, a implementation over a period of time. And that's why the speculation that XRP could be worth, again, I'm going to step out on the limb and say that it could be worth one day $500. It could be worth one day $1,000. I mean, I don't know that. But to fund the world's liquidity pool based on the supply of XRP, we know that it has currently in circulation 42 billion coins. And we don't forget that on the first of the month, We're going to also have another billion coins injected into the system, as is the normal operating procedure written into the code of Ripple Labs software that they are yielding their customers with. So these liquidity pools continue to be filled. They're customers who continue to take part of the banking network that we're discussing today, are also getting their pools filled. They are enacting monies over the counter that they have done over the past year. And we know that more customers are signed every week by Ripple Labs Incorporated to use their software. And it's that software that employs a digital currency of XRP to make the bridge currency work of cross-border payments, which is again replacing the Nostro and Vostro accounts. So it's very exciting to see how this asset will have to rise to the occasion to source what is the world's money supply. Because that, again, don't forget, is the utility case for this cryptocurrency, this digital asset. It has that particular use case, and that's why we all believe in it so. Now, this isn't for gaming. This isn't for the creation of tokens that can be utilized to pay a gamer that created a sword that was studded with green emeralds that possess special powers, and you can barter and trade these in different games. No, that's not what we're talking about. That's not this use case. This use case is specifically to fund the world's money supply and allow for transaction of funds across the globe to settle in near record time, that is near time 3 to 5, maybe even 7 seconds. Unbelievable. What a historical time we're living in. Congratulations again to everyone. Let's see, let me scroll down here a little bit. Yep. Very nice. And again, I just would remind everybody to keep your bags to yourselves. This is certainly exciting, but it's very dangerous also for you to put yourself out there. It's nobody's business what your financial status is. It's enough for us to share this information, to be ready to act on said events, and make sure I'm going to also give credit to Danny Torres. Danny has made a very nice little chart that was posted in her Twitter feed some time ago. It's probably 3 weeks ago, but it was related to her cash out plan. Now, it was hypothetical. It doesn't mean that's what she's holding, because the point is that she showed a spreadsheet that you all should do also, if you haven't already, to take what are percentages based against your holdings and a price point that XRP would reach, so that you can also have another column that is going to take into account your gains if you were to sell a certain percentage of your portfolio at a certain price that XRP were to hit after taxes. 22% is the capital gains tax currently for most people, most average citizens. Now, it may not be your case. Maybe you're in a lesser bracket. Congratulations. But once you start cashing out XRP, 22% is probably going to be your dog tag. So let that be your homework tonight. And my favorite saying is plan your work and work your plan. Plan your work and work your plan. This is the excitement that comes to us. You can't freak out. You can't get too excited and deviate from your plan. That's why it's important to plan your work and work your plan. Don't see numbers and get excited. Don't cash out. Don't be sorry later. If anything, be conservative, okay? Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Funny comments. Oh, great. Thank you, Danny. I did allow that to be shown. Thank you for sharing. There's a link in the chat here that Danny has posted, and she is letting us see where her spreadsheet was. It's a really good example. I really hope you guys will use it and tweak it to your personal satisfaction. Have a couple of them. And if you are someone that has helped another friend get involved with their investments, please revisit with them the levels that they want their goals to be. Personally, I am responsible for quite a few people, investors, and that's some of the things that I've done over the last 3 weeks was to individually revisit the what if scenarios. Each one of those people has got 3 different scenarios that would allow me to know that they were ready to be assisted and transacted for certain monies that they wish to convert and to take possession of, cashing out. All right. Yes, this is a no freak zone. No freak zone. Make sure you get some sleep tonight so that you're fresh tomorrow. And do yourself that favor. Oh, you're so welcome, Auburn Rain. Thank you for joining me. I hope I didn't miss you because I am a little back behind in the chat here. But I really thank you again. Much love, brother. Well, if you guys, Auburn, you and X and G want to hit me up, I'd love to jump in with your stream. I don't want to barge in on you guys. If it's just a test stream, no worries. But again, this is exciting stuff, and I would love to continue to talk about this. I might even just ask if anybody wants to join on a panel later. I might go live. I think I probably will do that. I'll just go on a panel later and see if any of the zoo wants to come on. It's very exciting. And again, I thank you all so much for your attention. This has been a terrific day. I do believe that, I appreciate that, Crypto Dude. Hopium is certainly a real thing. And I'm not here to give you guys false hopes. I am acting on a document that has been circulated for the banking institutions to be aware of, that this is going to be occurring tomorrow. And let me draw off of it again for a moment. Yeah, and I just got to thank everybody again for all the fun that we have had over this period of time while we were twiddling our thumbs and working towards filling our bags. It really has been a great time. We've made great friends. We're already rich. I know we talk about this all the time. And I just really look forward to meeting all of our good friends. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to give you this quote. Let's see, let me find exactly what I want to say. Yeah, you know, again, it's a rather lengthy, involved overview that again goes back to the valuation and the methodology that is derivative for the currency valuations. And the rules and the mathematical equations that are used, they're all represented in these articles. And it is a little over my head. I could read those, and I may do that here a little later. However, very exciting. My mouse is such a noisy little mouse. Yes, this document does explain how these valuations occur and the representation of the settlement price. Very impressive. We're talking about some beautiful calculus, some terrific statistics. So who said you would never use calculus again, right? It's relevant in weighing of these partitions across all spot prices. They're all going to be reweighted using these algorithms. And I have to believe that this has already been done. It has to have been done if they're going to go live with it tomorrow at the end of May 31. Banking time. Now I am going to say that it may very well be, it says here, it very well could be London time, folks. It appears to me that this may be London time. Based on the last published spot rate at 4 p.m. on that day, which would be at 1600 hours, London. And it appears to me that there will be Litecoin, XRP, and perhaps Bitcoin Cash. These have been given as examples, so I will not ignore that. Yeah, this is definitely London time. Glad to see this. Very exciting. Yep. I'm absolutely certain it is London time. Between 4 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. London is when the settlement price on the day concludes. So the relevant calculation will be made tomorrow, the 31st of May, London time, between 4 and 4:30. Player One Adam, I appreciate your conservatism. I certainly agree with you that it is something that we do want to keep ourselves in check, certainly. But I want us to also know that this has been disseminated from the CME group, Special Executive Report. So there's that. This is coming from the CME group. Very exciting. So to recap, the CME group, the Commodities Mercantile Exchange, is set to adjust the calculations for currencies and commodities in a few hours. This will be tomorrow, London banking time, the end of their banking day at 4 to 4:30. So I appreciate everybody to make sure again that you will take time to be set in your investments. Make sure that your firmware is updated in your Nano S's. And we all understand that there could very well be a backlog of exchanges. They may even halt trading because we do know that circuit breakers can be instituted with asset classes. So, just be on your game. That's my advice. Plan your work your plan, and be on your game. If we are so fortunate as to have this actually happen tomorrow, which again, I'm going on what is written word released by the CME group. Congratulations. We'll do it together. And we'll come back here together and we'll revisit. Hopefully everybody, again, has any questions. I'll look forward to try to answer some more this evening. After this news is breaking, I'm quite sure we'll have some input from some of our friends, maybe Sam, maybe Susie, Esoteric Trading, might be able to give some imparted knowledge also. But this is from my heart to you. Thank you very much for keeping an open mind. And we want everyone to be successful and happy. Don't do anything silly. Don't freak out. Stay calm. And just remember that you've waited a long time for this kind of an opportunity. And it may very well be happening tomorrow, as we've been told. So thank you guys very much for joining me today. I can't thank you enough for being part of my live stream. This is so exciting. It is definitely one of the highlights of my life. And I know that we'll look back together on this moment in history, and hopefully toast over some champagne and some cheese and crackers. We'll keep it simple. Thank you guys very much. Love you all. Any last comments out there? Everything is cool. What we're saying real quick is just a quick recap that there is a memo been put out by the CME group that states tomorrow, the 31st of May, the COMEX 589 rule will be taken and utilized to effect a revaluation of the digital currencies. The digital asset class will be revalued against the standard of gold pricing. Therefore, there will be a revaluation of the values of these currencies. So your bags may see a large jump in price tomorrow, what will be London time, between 4 and 4:30. And that's the news that I'm breaking today. And I hope you enjoy this news. Yep. Thank you guys all for joining. I really appreciate it so much. It is great news. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bail. I'm going to go get some dinner and also revisit some of my plans and make sure that my work is ready for tomorrow. Now, thanks again, guys. I'll probably pop on. I know. I'll see you guys later tonight. I'll go live again later this evening. Maybe someone will want to join and we'll have a little panel, okay? So thank you again so very much. I'm going to look real quick here at the coin market cap one last time and see that things again are further cooling off. You see, oh, look at that, 41 cents for XRP. Hallelujah. What an opportunity, you guys. You know, what an opportunity. What an opportunity. Very exciting. Okay, so with that, I'm going to bolt, and I want to wish you all a really nice evening. We'll see you later on the live stream, okay? Hey, Clarity. Good deal. Yep. Please watch this again if you like, and I will catch you guys later. We'll come back to revisit this. Okay, later. XRP.